project was about carbon footprints and ocean acidification. So my first big question was, what can be done to lower your carbon footprint? Because, it's bad and you want to lower them. But then I realized, why should you lower your carbon footprint? And a lot of people will talk about global warming, and that's pretty, a lot of people know about that, it's common knowledge. So I decided to research this thing called ocean acidification. And that happens because a lot of the carbon dioxide emitted by humans is absorbed into the ocean. And so the CO2 reacts with the water, chemistry stuff, and makes carbonic acid. And so the ocean gets more acidic, and it makes it really hard for animals like coral to survive because they create their shells with limestone, which acid deteriorates, so they can't form their shells and what they're called polyps or coral, but whatever. They can't form the reefs, and they can't expand, so it really hurts coral reefs. That's the actual chemistry, different equations of why it happens, and that's you guys right there. Where are you? I'm up there, don't worry. And so it's the past 250 years, because that's when industrial revolution, lots of carbon dioxide went in the atmosphere, it's decreased 8.25 to 8.14, and that doesn't seem like a lot, but because of how the scale works, the pH scale, it's actually a 30% leap in how acidic the acid is. And that prevents animals like coral from expanding, and animals like even crabs, crustaceans, things like that, they form their shells like that. And then coral is replaced by algae, because algae thrives under these more acidic situations. And coral reefs they support a lot of biodiversity. They occupy just a tiny area of the world's oceans, but they support 25% of its species. And algae, nothing really lives in algae. Some things do, obviously, but nowhere near the biodiversity of coral reefs. So that's why it's bad that this is happening. So then, how to lower your carbon footprint? You can be more efficient with electricity. That's don't leave things on, especially if you put something in sort of standby mode or stand-on mode. What's it called? But you should unplug things, because a lot of times, even when they say they're off, they leach power. That's bad. And by saving electricity, you save money too, because you're reducing your electricity bill. And you can drive less, like the cycling group said. Cycling's good. Don't get by car, but yeah, that's good. And then you can offset the carbon you emit, planting trees, stuff like that. That's one of the things I did. And also another thing, plastic water bottles are really bad. I'll get into that more later.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I first like that. Anyway, so I planted some trees. Each tree absorbs approximately 1 ton of carbon dioxide. And actually, the average American puts out 20 tons. So I only planted 7 trees, but every little bit helps. And then here are some trees that I planted. And then water bottles are bad because they're bad for the environment anyway, because they just get thrown in landfills and they don't really rot because they're made of plastic, so they sit there for not thousands, well maybe thousands, a lot of years, quite a few years, hundreds of thousands, somewhere. And so, and also, a lot of the water, especially if you get water like Fiji, that actually comes from Fiji. The transportation costs in terms of carbon emissions is huge, because they have to transport that all the way from Fiji to here. And even the local ones like Ice Mountain, because they bottle like 20 miles away, they still have a lot of bottling costs, so it's carbon footprint. And they're really harmful pollutants. So, next slide. I tried to reduce the number of water bottles used in Mount Pleasant, or more at school. So I contacted the Mount Pleasant Chamber of Commerce, because, as I said, the Tour de Mount Pleasant is coming up. And so I said that if they gave me some free water bottles, then we could print Tour de Mount Pleasant on it, and I'd hand them out to students, and it would promote the Tour de Mount Pleasant, as well as getting across the message of using less plastic water bottles, and people would have more reusable water bottles. And so, and I also put up some posters around the school saying, don't buy water bottles. I don't, question?
That's not qualification.
That's okay. Big case is better, it's more efficient, but probably don't buy them again. Just get one of the nice, here, Connor, you have that reusable bottle, hold it up. Those ones are the best. They last pretty much forever. Yeah, thank you.
Made metal.
Yeah, that's it. So, any more questions? Great. Graham.
Okay, so I was wondering about the allergy thing. So allergy produces actually most of our oxygen,
Yeah, it does.
and also it probably takes away most of our carbon dioxide, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So isn't by the increase of allergy that's counteracting our
No, it wouldn't. It doesn't take out enough to counteract. And you would. A lot of animals would go extinct, so it would kind of counteract the point of preventing carbon dioxide emissions.
is that harm?
Yes, it is. Normative and environmental economics analysis. Go.
Okay, earlier in your presentation you said that each tree sucks up 1 ton of
Over
carbon
its
dioxide.
lifetime. Yeah.
Huh? Yeah, is that like instantly or over eternity or?
You see, the carbon dioxide absorbs is actually within the stem of the tree. That's what the tree is built off of. Carbon dioxide absorbed from the air. So that's
Yeah, but like
over time it absorbs.
How much?
over how much time?
It's all lifetime of a tree.
Okay. How long? What's the life expectancy of a tree? No, I'm just wondering because if it's 20
No,
tons
I
of
think
CO2 per American.
Yeah,
per
I
year.
know. Trees, like, it's more you have to reduce your own footprint because it's really hard to offset it with trees.
Okay.
Like I said, every little bit counts. But yeah, it's about 300 years.
Okay.
Did you get the water bottles?
Yeah.
They,
We get those.
I have them coming, but they ordered them and they haven't arrived yet. So I'm going to hand them out maybe next week, hopefully. You want one?
Yes.
Well, then you better come pick one up and I'm handing them out. I don't know when that is, but I'll be just be out in the hall sometime.